Well, welcome to Martial Arts Business Success. My name's Phil Britton.
And I'm Graham McDonald.
And we're here in version 2.0 to basically give you guys the tips, tools and strategies on how to turn your school from surviving to thriving. Graham?
Look, Phil, it's exciting. I can't wait. You're getting to see, this is the very, very first time that we had the podcast, but also we've got some videos, so you guys actually get to see what we're talking about, us live, and having a great time and sharing some really great stuff.
So as things go forward, and we're going to inform you, this particular podcast will be where we get some information to you about what we're going to be doing and how we're going to get this medium to you guys. But for today's particular topic, we thought we'd kick off with, if you want more, you have to do more. What does that mean?
Well, look, I know a lot of guys just do barely enough. And, you know, speaking to a lot of the coaching clients that we have, Phil, over the times, they wonder about our successes and what we do. And to be honest with you, we are productive with our time. We're not just busy, we're productive. But we do need to make sure that we fill those time slots with things that are going to get us that return on investment. And really that's what it's all about, is you've got to do some more stuff, but quality stuff as well.
I guess also from my point of view, I'm always thinking about not expecting or accepting the standard or level that we set on ourselves. We always blame external activities, external environments, external people on where we're at, and we blame, and I think that's a very big limiting belief when this whole thing about if you want more, they find it too hard to go get it.
Look, to be honest with you, Phil, I know from personal experience and speaking to a lot of people, being time poor, we are in a society where they're trying to jam-pack things in, but at the same token too, they're also mismanaged on their time where, you know, I know personally myself, I've got a project that I want to work on. Guess what? I'm going to get up earlier. I'm going to fit that in just to make sure I can manage my time and be productive with that as well.
So how do we take this into martial arts terms? You know, we're in the business, we want more students. How do we do this concept of if we want more, do more? We want more students, what do we do?
So again, we got to think, what's the medium that we're going to get? What's that time that we're going to put in? And I really look at the stuff that we're doing actively. Fates, you know, we've got certain brand space that is outside of our premises. Gone are the days of sitting back, doing your traditional marketing and waiting for the phone to ring. You've actually got to be out. You've got to be out in the community. You've got to do more to put your business in the forefront of people's mind. And realistically, that's where it's at. You've got to go get them.
Yeah. And I think another thing for that as well was, I know when we started up our schools, you know, when you've got that downtime, rather than waiting for the bloody phone to ring, get out there and litter the place with flyers and, you know, letterbox drops, all the things that, you know, you probably don't focus a lot of attention on. They're still going to bring one or two people through the door. It's still brand exposure. It's still getting your message out there in front of people, and you never know who's going to walk through your doors. So look at your time and look where you're spending your time. Obviously, you can't change the classes that you're doing. That's a fact. But where's your spare time? Is it during the day? Is it during the night? You know, what things can we do that is above and beyond what we're doing? So I urge, if you're thinking about this, how can I do more? Look at what you're actually doing and see about, you know, how can I do an extra hour or 2 hour that will get me the result that I want? So what is the result? Let's say it is more students in this particular case. What can I do that's above and beyond what I'm already doing? And is that, oh yeah, we're not doing letterbox drops, or we haven't done that for 12 months. Let's give it another turn. You know, other ideas of getting new students in, and we're going to be talking about that in further podcasts as well.
Hey Phil, do you have any tips in and around categorising or identifying what our high return on investment items? So, you know, we can all get busy. We can be busy for like 2 or 3 hours, but realistically, it didn't pay any dividends in our time. Was it well spent, whatnot? How do you personally, I know you're very, very good at this, but how do you identify if we want to do more? It's good to get cluttered with rubbish, but how do I be more productive with those tasks? What do you focus on?
Well, I'm actually in that phase right now of really collating where I am in my life. It's always that self-analysis that I think we all got to do. So I look at the timetable, just a week, for example, and I'm blocking out where my must-dos, which class times or management meetings or whatever it may be. These are the things I can't shuffle. Then where's me time? Where's my time? So, you know, going to the gym, training, etc. And that's important because, you know, as I often say, just like the safety briefs in the aeroplanes before you take off, you've got to give yourself oxygen first before you give anyone else oxygen to help them.
Makes sense, definitely.
So, you know, number one is what can't you move? Classes, management meetings, etc. What are the things for you? Training, gym work, whatever it may be, or your personal growth. And then where are all the gaps? Then there's obviously family and all that sort of stuff. Where's your actual gap where you could actually do more in? Because, you know, it is going to take time. And it might mean, this is the tough thing, guys, out there. It might mean waking up freaking early. It might mean going to bed late. But this is the thing. If you want to be successful, you have to want it as bad as you want to breathe. That's a fact.
I couldn't agree more. And guys, just for you guys who actually get a chance to actually see us at the moment, there's something myself and Phil have done in the past that has been really, really beneficial for us. And that is write down all the tasks that you're currently doing and the potential new ones you want to add in there. So again, if you want more, do more. And what we've done is we've categorized those as an A, an A1, an A2, an A3, a B, a C, and a D. D, delegate, get rid of that. That's not something you want to do. Because I know there's going to be a lot of business owners listening to this, and even managers and whatnot, that are doing tasks that realistically it's not something they should be doing. They should be spending their time with things that are going to really give them that return on time investment or financial investment. And look, we all have to do certain things, but as a school owner, sweeping the floors and all the rest is important. But would you agree that getting out there and marketing your business is probably a little bit of a higher task? Could I delegate that sweeping the floor, that cleaning? What is that sort of trade-off there? What are you looking for? So understanding, again, we do this a lot with ourselves. We have our to-do lists and understand, okay, what's urgent, what's important. But then as we categorize, A1, what's the first thing? Tick. What's the second thing? Tick. Third thing. So, I certainly want to make sure that you're not just cluttering your timetable with, things that distract you, but things that are going to be really productive.
Something that we've done recently with our staff also is utilize the 4 quadrants. If I think I can remember it, quadrant 1 is urgent and important. Quadrant 2 is not urgent but important. Quadrant 3 is
Jesus, we don't operate in that one at the moment.
But basically, it's categorising your to-do list. And what we find is that we generally get stuck on a certain to-do list that is really not productive for us. So you want to make sure that you're doing the things that are not urgent but important, and that you got to deal with the urgent things, of course, get them off your list. But you want most of your time on this thing that's just important. And that's the key. You want to spend your most time there. And if in your school or in your business or whatever it may be, it's your focus is student retention, then you need to focus in on that area. If it is getting more members, you got to focus in on that area. But keeping in mind, you've got to make sure you're plugging all the holes. You can't focus on one area and forget the other.
Hey guys, just a really quick tip as well too is understand, and we've been doing it with our managers, they talk about being time poor or being busy. And look, we understand that they do get busy, but to be honest with you, that's not a good enough excuse for us. We want to be productive with our guys. So walking in and opening your emails the very first thing in the day is not always a productive thing because you get distracted. Schedule that time. Phil talked about that before. It's important to answer emails because you need to keep up to date and answer what people are doing, but is that the very first thing, gets you off track? So understanding what first things are first. Yeah. Then also too, what about Facebook? What about you guys with social media? Some of you guys put that in a prime time slot that, to be honest with you, could be scheduled. I know, Phil, we've used this many times with our business. What are some of the tips in regards to the social media scheduling services?
We've got, there's plenty. Hootsuite is one of the ones that I use. I know a lot of businesses do use that, where you can post on one platform and it goes to many. Schedule Once is a good meeting platform, one that we use. So there are plenty out there. It's really just go out there and figure out which one's best for you. But at the end of the day, it's still time involved. But yeah, you're reducing time spending on all those areas. I mean, if you had the time and the resources, I would be outsourcing social media to somebody completely, so you and your staff don't have to bother about that.
So just recapping, I guess, is if you want more, you got to do more. That doesn't mean filling your day with more rubbish. It means being more productive. And I guess something you've identified, Phil, that's really great is that mindset and understanding, putting first things first, identifying what are the most important tasks that are pressing, and also too, just making sure that you're not getting distracted with rubbish, really, because that happens. I know there's a lot of clients that we deal with that are busy, but you look at their timetable, you look at their day, and it's really not sequenced in the right order. So they've got bits and pieces elsewhere. They're answering emails ad hoc, that is, they come in, they're not actually structured and scheduled. Meetings are just all over the show. So, really it is about being effective first and foremost, and then filling in those gaps with all the things that are going to make a massive impact in your business too.
At the end of the day, if you're in a business where you have staff underneath you as well, they're going to look to you for inspiration. They're going to look to you. Are you organised? Are you productive? Are you going above and beyond? Because your staff won't go above and beyond if you're not going above and beyond. It's just fact. So, the saying that's, the beep flows downhill. Well, you know what? It happens with inspiration and motivation as well. If you're motivated, inspiring, if you're pushing and guiding your staff, then they're going to be able to do that to the staff underneath them as well.
Hey guys, you would have heard this phrase tons of times. Lead by example. Man, we say it in our teachings. It's what instructors do. Why don't you do that while you're off the floor as well? It's not just on the floor techniques. It's how you organize your life and your business and whatnot. And that's part of the reason why we have been successful. What we do is because we clear out the rubbish, the clutter, and really put first things first.
Right, I'm going to shoot it to you and I'll put you on a bit of a spot here, but this is in definitely hot topic on if you want more, do more. Mm-hmm. Now, I know you've just started doing something, a 40-day challenge.
Yep.
And, I know that there's nothing wrong with your relationships at home or like that. But as you say, if you want to go to the gym and bulk up, then you go to the gym and you work out.
Yep.
But if you want to supercharge your relationships, you got to do some extra things. And and you're doing some extra things definitely early in the morning and throughout the day. And it's not because nothing's wrong, but it's more because you want more out of your relationship.
Hey, it's a higher standard I'm holding myself to, and good enough was not a standard I wanted to be. And that, for me, on a personal thing, it was more about, hey, look, I've been married for, and with my wife for nearly 19 years. And hey, you get into a routine, and that routine was like, well, hey, how do we supercharge that? So as a personal thing, it was me. But therefore, what I've actually done is, if I want to fit in this time, I've got to do this before my day starts. So my day now, Phil, starts at 4 a.m. in the morning. Woo! 4 a.m. I know, tell me about it. And I am not a morning person. I've learned to be. I'll put first things first.
Yeah.
But 4 a.m. start for a 4:30 Skype call. I'm hitting the gym, relationship gym, reading and education gym up until 6 a.m. and then my day begins. Right. And Phil, we know, for any of the guys listening and watching this, we will sometimes finish work at 10 at night. So again, there are certain days that we work, long and lengthy because we have to. If you want more, you got to do more.
That's it.
Keep going back to that. But understanding, team, that hey, I could have made all the excuses in the world. I don't have the time. Well, I do. I just needed to make sure what was important and sacrifice a few things. So again, in business, and there's a great analogy and a segue there is, hey, is your business performing the way you want? Are you just getting by? Is it just good enough? If you want to be exceptional, you need to shake some things up and actually do a hell of a lot more. So go back at you, keep yourself accountable because, hey, that's what we do and it's why we are sharing those great strategies with you guys because we're actually doing this stuff.
Well, as Graham said, throwing it back to you guys, we're going to wrap up, but being version 2.0, we're going to throw it back to you. If you want more from us, if you want specific topics, specific subjects, we're going to put a little section called Ask the Boys. So if you want something answered in particular, a specific question, a problem that you're having, send us an email at admin@tima.com.au. And last but not least, guys, obviously this is the podcast that is for you guys. We need reviews on iTunes as well. It just helps us with getting ourselves a bit higher on the list so we can be accessible by all martial artists. And you know that it's all about raising the standard throughout and not just being the best, but bringing everyone to the next level. But Graham, that's Phil Britton signing out.
And Graham McDonald here.
Look, we're going to leave you guys with our phrase. Believe in yourself, begin the journey, and become the person and business that you're born to be. Ciao.
Take care.
Innovating the martial arts industry.